So we are going to investigate some word problems that are based on quadratic equations. The important part in quadratic equation word problems is finding out the right conditions that are given in the question and converting them into appropriate expressions and then framing the equation. So every time we should always take a look at what conditions are given in the question, and based on that we should frame the algebraic expressions and then build the equation. So let's take a look at this question. The length of the rectangular base is more than its breadth by 7 meters. This is the first condition given to me. And it is also given that the diagonal is more than the length by 1 meter. So assume that you have a rectangle. It's given that the length is more than its breadth by 7 meters. So assume that the breadth is x meters over here. Then the length is 7 more than the breadth. So I can label the length as, so if the breadth is x, the length is 7 more than the breadth. So I can assume that the length is x plus 7. Right? This is the length of the given rectangular field. And the diagonal is more than its length by 1 meter. So this is the diagonal of the rectangle. The diagonal is 1 meter more than the length. So the length is x plus 7. So this is x plus 7 plus 1. The diagonal is 1 more than the length. So we have marked all the measurements. We have taken into account all the conditions which are given in this word problem. And now we need to frame an equation. So because this is a rectangle, I know that the triangle ADB is a right angle triangle. So because triangle ADB is right angled, I can definitely apply Pythagoras theorem in this particular question. So before I do that, let me quickly write down the variables that were used. So I started off saying that let the breadth of the rectangle be x, and therefore the length of the rectangle was x plus 7, and the diagonal of the rectangle is therefore x plus 7 plus 1, that is basically x plus 8. Now I can use Pythagoras theorem. So using Pythagoras theorem in triangle ADB. Now how can I use Pythagoras theorem? Because triangle ADB is a right angle triangle, because ABCD is a rectangle. So using Pythagoras theorem in triangle ADB, I can say that BD square is equal to AB square plus AD square. BD is the hypotenuse. So BD is going to be x plus 8. So it is x plus 8 the whole square is equal to AB is x plus 7. So that's x plus 7 the whole square plus AD is x square. And now I can open up the brackets using a plus b the whole square idea on both sides. So this is a square plus 2ab, 2 into x into 8, plus 8 square is equal to x square plus 2 into x into 7 plus 7 square plus x square. So x square cancels. So we get 16x plus 64 is equal to x square plus 14x plus 49. Shifting all the terms to the other side, I get x square plus 14x plus 49 minus 16x minus 64 is equal to 0, which means x square minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation which can be solved. You can use any of the methods. So I am using factorization. So x minus 5 into x plus 3 is equal to 0, which means x minus 5 is 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore x is either 5 or x is negative 3. Now in this case, x is the breadth of the rectangle. Therefore x cannot be negative. So we have to discard. You will have to of course mention this, saying that x cannot be negative. So I can say that I can write the justification as, since x is the breadth of the rectangle, x cannot be negative, and therefore we can say that x is equal to 5. So x is the breadth of this particular rectangle. So the breadth of the rectangle is 5, and they have also asked the length of the rectangle. So length of the rectangle is x plus 7. That's 5 plus 7, which is 12 meters. So the length is 5 meters and the length is 12 meters and the breadth is 5 meters. So this is how we frame the quadratic equation based on the conditions given. I will pause for a minute before moving on. Moving on to the next one. Product of Pragati's age 2 years ago and 3 years hence is 84. Find her present age. So it's given that the multiplication of Pragati's age 2 years ago. So let's write that down. Product basically means multiplication. So what should we multiply? We have to multiply Pragati's age 2 years ago with Pragati's age 3 years hence. This product is equal to 84. This is given to us. We have to find her present age. So let us assign her present age with some variable. So let's assume that the present age is x. So let Pragati's present age be equal to x. So if her present age is x, then her age 2 years ago. So Pragati's age 2 years ago is therefore going to be x minus 2, and Pragati's age 3 years hence, is going to be x plus 3, right? So this 3 years hence is from today. It's not from 2 years ago. It is from today. So if the age today is x, then 2 years ago the age is x minus 2, and 3 years hence the age is going to be x plus 3, which is what we have taken here. Now the product of these two ages. So if I multiply these two ages, the product of these two ages is 84. That is x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 3 is equal to 84. And opening up the brackets, I get x square minus 2x plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 84, which means x square plus x minus 6 minus 84 equals 0, or x square plus x negative 90 is equal to 0. So now we can solve this particular quadratic equation again by various ways. So I'm going to use factorization. So if I factorize, I get x plus 9, x plus 10, or x minus 9. X minus 9 multiplied by x plus 10 is equal to 0. And therefore either x minus 9 is 0 or x plus 10 is equal to 0, which means x equals 9 or x equals negative 10. And therefore I can choose x equal to 9 because x cannot be negative 10 as the age cannot be negative. So we have to mention that here, as the age cannot be negative, we discard the root, or we discard the 0, x equal to negative 10. Therefore x equals 9, and this is her present age. Therefore Pragati's present age is 9 years. Now we can quickly check our answer. So if her age is 9 years today, 2 years ago her age would be 7. So 2 years ago her age would be 7, and 3 years hence the age would be 12, and 7 12s is 84. So our solution is right. It matches the given conditions. Pausing for a minute before I move on. Moving on to the next question. Sum of squares of two consecutive even natural numbers is 244. Find the numbers. So what are the important points over here? Squares. So we have to find the squares. Sum of squares. So we have to add those two squares of two consecutive natural even numbers. So if I pick one even number as x, so let one even number be equal to x, then its consecutive even number can be taken as x plus 2 or x minus 2, because two consecutive even numbers are always separated by a difference of 2. So if one even number is x, I can say that its consecutive even number will be x plus 2, or you can also pick x minus 2. If you pick x and x plus 2, if you pick this pair, then your answer would be different for x, whereas if you pick x and x minus 2, your answer is your value of x will be different, but the numbers will remain the same. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take both the cases and I'm going to solve for x. The value of x definitely will be different in both cases, but the final answer is going to remain the same. So I will show you that. Now it's given that their squares when added. So let's take x square plus x plus 2 the whole square. The sum of these squares is 244. And in this case, it is x square plus x minus 2 the whole square is equal to again 244. Let us solve both these equations now. Here I can expand it using a plus b the whole square. So a square plus 2 into a into b plus b square is 244. So 2x square plus 4x plus 4 minus 244 is equal to 0, which means 2x square plus 4x minus 240 is equal to 0, and therefore x square plus 2x minus 120 is equal to 0. Factorizing this, I will get x plus 12 into x minus 10 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is either 10 or negative 12. Now, this is a natural number, right? X is supposed to be a natural number. So, we mention here, since x is a natural number, we discard negative 12. And hence we pick x equals 10. So the numbers are x and x plus 2. So the numbers are 10 and 12. Now let's quickly check. 10 square is 100. 12 square is 144. 100 plus 144 is 244. Let us now solve the same question using the second idea, which was x square and x minus 2 the whole square. Let's open up the bracket. So this is x square plus a square minus 2ab plus b square is equal to 244, which means 2x square minus 4x minus 240 is equal to 0, and therefore x square minus 2x minus 120 is equal to 0. Again, factorizing this, I would get x minus 12 into x plus 10 is equal to 0. This implies x is either 12 or the value of x is negative 10. Again, since x is a natural number, we discard x equals negative 10. So x equals 12. So the numbers are therefore x and x minus 2, if you remember. So the numbers are 12 and 12 minus 2 is 10. Therefore the numbers are 12 and 10. You will notice that the value of x in both cases is different. So here x equals 12 and in the first case x was 10. However, the numbers are still 10 and 12 in both cases. So the beauty of it is the value of x will align itself in such a way that your final solution still remains the same. So again, pausing for a minute before moving on to the next one. Moving on to the next question. Suya scored 10 marks more in the second test than in the first test. So this is going to give us an important expression. 5 times the score of the second test. So 5 multiplied by the score of the second test is same as the square of the score in the first test. Find the score in the first test. So it's given that he scored 10 marks more in the second test than in the first test. So I can start off saying that let Suyash score X marks X marks in the first test. So essentially we have to find X because we have to find the score in the first test. And he scored 10 marks more in the second test than in the first test. That means in the second test, therefore in the second test, he scored X plus 10 marks. Now it is given that 5 times the score of the second test. So let's write the condition in plain English. 5 times the score in the second test is the same as the square of the score in first test. So that means 5 times X plus 10 is equal to square of the score in the first test. So 5x plus 50 is equal to x square, which means x square minus 5x minus 50 is equal to 0. And now I can solve for x using the factorization method. So I get x minus 10 into x plus 5 is equal to 0, which means either x minus 10 is 0 or x plus 5 is 0, which implies x is either 10 or x is negative 5. Now again we discard the negative score because generally scores are not negative unless negative marking is encouraged in the exam, which is not mentioned in this question, by the way. So we assume that x is 10. So the score in the first test, is therefore equal to 10. Now let's check if this matches our given condition. So in the first exam he scored 10 marks, and in the second he has scored 10 more than the first test, so he scored 20 in the second exam. Now 5 times the score in the second exam, that's 5 times 20 is 100, which is equal to 10 square, right? So therefore this given condition exactly matches the answer exactly matches the given conditions, and hence our solution is right. So again pausing for a few moments before moving on. Moving on to the next question. Let's take a look at this question. Vivek is older than Kishore by 5 years. So I can assume that, so Vivek is elder to Kishore by 5 years. That means let Kishore's age be x. So I can assume that Kishore's age, so let Kishore's age be x years. Then Vivek's age therefore is going to be x plus 5 years, right? This is what is given to me. Now let's see what they have given. They have given the sum of the reciprocal of their ages. The sum of the reciprocal of their ages is 1 by 6. So let's frame that equation. See the reciprocal of Kishore's age. What is the reciprocal of Kishore's age? Reciprocal of Kishore's age will be 1 upon x, and reciprocal of Vivek's age will be 1 by x plus 5. So reciprocal basically means the numerator and denominator switch places, and it is given that the sum of the reciprocals, that is 1 by x plus 1 by x plus 5, this sum is equal to 1 by 6. That is what is given to me. So of course I can go ahead and take the LCM of these two terms. The LCM of x and x plus 5, because we don't know if any common factors exist between them. So I would just go ahead and multiply these two terms as their LCM. So x into x plus 5. So if I multiply the denominators, I know that I will have to multiply this one, the first one, with x plus 5. So it becomes 1 into x plus 5. And I will have to multiply the second one with x. So it becomes 1 into x is equal to 1 by 6. Therefore, this becomes x plus 5 plus x divided by x square plus 5x is equal to 1 by 6. Now, of course, I can cross multiply. This is like this is basically an equation where I can cross multiply now. So this becomes 2x plus 5 divided by x square plus 5x is equal to 1 by 6. Cross multiplying I get. So cross multiplying, what I now get is 6 times 2x plus 5 is equal to x square plus 5x. Let's open the bracket. 6 into 2x will be 12x and 6 into 5 will be 30. This equals x square plus 5x. Shifting all the terms to the right hand side, I get 0 equals x square minus 7x minus 30. So this is now the quadratic equation that I am supposed to solve. Again, let me repeat this procedure one more time. The denominator is x and x plus 5. So the LCM is going to be the multiplication of these two denominators. That is x multiplied by x plus 5. The one here gets multiplied with x plus 5. And the one here gets multiplied with x. So it becomes 1 into x plus 5 plus 1 into x is divided by x into x plus 5 becomes 1 by 6. There are like terms in the numerator. So this is x plus x becomes 2x and 2x plus 5 upon x square plus 5x is 1 by 6, and then cross multiplication helps me. Now I should solve these two, this particular equation. Again, I would use my factorization technique. So I get x minus 10 into x plus 3 is going to be equal to 0. So of course you know how to do this. You can find the product and the sum and split the terms appropriately. So either x minus 10 is 0 or x plus 3 is 0. If x minus 10 is 0, it implies x equals 10 or x equals negative 3. But again, x is the age of Kishore, which cannot be negative. So we say, since x is the age of Kishore, we discard x, and therefore x is equal to 10. That's the acceptable solution. We have to find their present ages. So Kishore's present age would be x, which is 10 years, and Vivek's present age. So Vivek's present age is going to be x plus 5, which is 10 plus 5, which is 15 years. So their present ages are 10 and 15 years respectively. So again, let me pause for a few seconds before I move on. Moving on to the next question. Let's take a look at the next one. In the orange garden of Mr. Madhusudan, there are 150 orange trees. The number of trees in each row is 5 more than that in each column. Find the number of trees in each row and column. So these 150 orange trees are being placed in a rectangular arrangement. So let me quickly draw the rectangular arrangement. So this is how the trees are being arranged. The horizontal arrangement are the rows. So this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, and so on. So first row, second row, and so on. Third row, and so on. This is the first column, this is the second column, this is the third column, and so on, right? So it's given that the number of trees in each row, that is the number of trees in, say, the first row, in this particular row, is 5 more than the number of trees in each column. So the number of trees in each column are the red dots, right? And the number of trees in each row are the black dots. It's given that the number of trees in each row is 5 more than that in each column. So I can say let the number of trees in each column be x. That means there are x trees in each column, right? There are x trees in each column, and in each row there are 5 more trees as compared to the number of trees in each column. So if there are x trees in the first column, there are x plus 5 trees in each row. So I can say that the number of trees in each row is going to be x plus 5, because that is the condition that is given to me over here. The number of trees in each row is 5 more than that in each column. So now the number of trees in this garden is going to be the multiplication of x and x plus 5, because this is a rectangular arrangement after all. So the total number of trees in the garden is going to be x multiplied by x plus 5, which is going to be equal to 150. So I can say x into x plus 5 is equal to 150, which means x square plus 5x minus 150 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation to solve, and therefore I get x plus 15 multiplied by x minus 10 is equal to 0, which means either x plus 15 is 0 or x minus 10 is 0. Therefore x is negative 15 or x is equal to 10. Therefore the number of trees in each column, the number of trees in each column is x, which is basically 10, and the number of trees in each row, is x plus 5, which is 10 plus 5, that's 15. So there are 10 trees in each column and 15 trees in each row. That is what makes up 150 trees. 15 into 10 is 150. So let me again pause for a minute, take a look at this particular question very carefully and to appreciate the rectangular arrangement and how the words were, or how the statements were converted into mathematical expressions. moving on to the next question. Let us consider this question. Pratik takes 8 hours to travel 36 kilometers downstream and return to the same spot. So we have learned the concept of upstream and downstream. So let's draw a random diagram. So here it's the boat has to travel upstream, say from point A to point B. So the distance traveled is 36 kilometers. Say, let's assume the distance between this is 36 kilometers. The total time taken to go 36 kilometers downstream and return to the same spot. So initially the boat is going downstream. So it is going downwards from the point B to A. So the boat goes from B to A and again from A to B. The total distance covered here, so the distance between B to A is 36 kilometers and the distance between A to B is also 36 kilometers, and the total time taken is 8 hours. So I can say that the time taken to go downstream plus time taken to go upstream, this complete time equals 8 hours. Now they have given the speed of the boat in still water is 12 kilometers per hour. So the speed of the boat in still water is 12 kilometers per hour. We have to find the speed of the water current, right? So let us assume that the speed of the water current, let speed of the water current be equal to x kilometers per hour. So now we know that when the boat is going downstream, the effective speed of the boat downstream is going to be 12 plus x, because the when you go downstream, so when the boat is going downstream, the boat is rowing at a speed of x, the water is also flowing in the same direction at speed of the speed of the boat is 12 kilometers per hour and the water current is at x kilometers per hour. So the effective speed of the boat going downwards is going to be 12 plus x, right? Because the direction of motion is same. Whereas what will be the effective speed of the boat going upstream? So effective speed of the boat upstream would be, let's draw a diagram and understand. The water is flowing down at x kilometers per hour. The boat is trying to go up at 12 kilometers per hour. So the effective speed, the direction of motion is opposite here. The boat is going in the opposite direction as compared to the water. So the effective speed is going to be 12 minus x, right? And therefore the time to go downstream, I know that time is equal to distance upon speed. The distance while going downstream is 36 kilometers. So it is 36 upon 12 plus x. And the time taken to go upstream is, the distance is again 36 and the speed is 12 minus x. So the effective time is 36 upon 12 minus x. By the way, don't assume that 8 hours can be split as 4 and 4 hours, because the time taken to go upstream is going to be much more than the time taken to go downstream. That's because the speed in upstream is lesser as compared to downstream. Now I can say that the equation that I can build is time taken to go downstream is 36 by 12 plus x and time taken to go upstream is 36 upon 12 minus x. This total time is equal to 8 hours. So now I can go and find the LCM. So the LCM of 12 plus x and 12 minus x, I can multiply these two expressions. But before I solve this quadratic equation, I want to give you a minute to understand the working that was done here and grasp all the concepts. So now let's consider finding the LCM. So the LCM of 12 plus x and 12 minus x, I don't know if there's any term that is common in that, so I can simply multiply them to find the LCM. So 12 plus x gets multiplied by 12 minus x. The first 36, by the way, this 12 plus x should be multiplied by 12 minus x. That means the first 36 gets multiplied by 12 minus x after finding the LCM. 12 minus x should be multiplied by 12 plus x, right, to get to the LCM. That means this 36 should also be multiplied by 12 plus x. So it becomes 12 plus x and that is equal to 8. Opening up the brackets, 36 12s are 432. So 432 minus 36x plus 432 plus 36x. The whole divided by 12 plus x into 12 minus x is 144 minus x square is equal to 8. Minus 36x plus 36x cancels. 432 plus 432 becomes 864 upon 144 minus x square is equal to 8. Which means 864 and 8 are divisible. I get 108 and this becomes 1. So 108 is equal to 144 minus x square, which means x square is equal to 36 or x equals plus or minus 6. Now in this case we had taken the downward speed of the stream as x, so we reject negative 6 because water cannot flow in the upstream direction. Therefore the speed of the water current is positive 6 kilometers per hour. If you consider negative 6, it means that if we had considered the direction of motion downward. So if you say the speed is negative 6, it means that you are telling me that the water is flowing upwards, which is not possible, right? So the speed of the water stream is therefore going to be positive 6 kilometers per hour. I will now again pause for a minute before I conclude today's session. We did solve a few quadratic equation word problems and I hope you understood how to convert the given statements into expressions and form quadratic equations. So pausing for a minute before we conclude today's session. Concluding today's session here.